Is the North Texas Tollway Association. I'm not a fan of public and private partnerships, so that's definitely one of them I would like to get rid of. The second one, it's not exactly, I guess, a state one, but the the Transportation Security Administration that we are, that we do have to have in the state of Texas because of federal reasons. And there's the last one. It's pretty interesting because there's a whole entire list whenever I was looking up of all of the agencies that Texas funds publicly, and there was one of them whenever I was looking it up a while ago, which was the Emancipation Juneteenth Association or something. And when I had first looked it up about maybe a month ago, it had shown that this organization was still being funded. And then only recently, when I went back to look at it, did it say that it was actually dissolved back in 2011. So obviously whoever is updating this is not doing their job correctly. So perhaps maybe we need to dissolve that group as well, and maybe allow a privatized company who knows how to update their website to run it instead. So those would be my 30.
I got a couple dozen. I'm disappointed that I'm only limited to 3. I referred to it earlier. I mean, there are multiple overhead departments in the state. Those can be consolidated. I mean, it would save millions of dollars from an IT perspective. You got literally different purchasing departments that have different IT systems. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So literally, when you look across the state, there's literally dozens. I think we're thinking, Health and Human Services or those types of things, and I would look at it a little bit differently. What I would do is, as part of the sunset process that the state has established today, what type of consolidation efforts, opportunities rather, are there within the process? I would make that part of it, and I'm not joking, there are literally dozens of departments within the state budget that can be reduced or taken out rather.
Matt mentioned the sunset review process that we have. That's a set process that our state has to systematically go by each department and commission on a regular basis and look at what they do, how they do it, and whether or not they should be renewed. And I get the feeling that bureaucracies, being bureaucracies, which typically are all about perpetuating themselves, that process has not been nearly as rigorous as it needs to be in eliminating the waste and making sure those agencies and departments are running as efficiently as they should. A perfect example, and one that I think deserves a great deal of scrutiny, is TxDOT, Texas Department of Transportation. I mean, transportation is a huge issue, and we can't eliminate that department, but we need to make sure that it is operating in a way that's both effective and efficient in addressing the needs of the citizens of Texas. I don't know about you, but when I'm on Texas highways, I don't always get the sense that that's the case, and so that's an area where I think needs some immediate scrutiny. Licensing and regulation. Was out walking neighborhoods just last weekend and came across a small businessman who's in the pool repair business, and he was talking about how just recently Texas has decided to regulate pool repairs, and it was killing his business because what was happening is there were these bureaucrats in Austin out of touch with the way this really happens, and they were putting these large fees and expenses and unreasonable regulations on the way he was operating his business, and it was pushing him out of business. And I think that's what happens so often when you have governmental regulation that's out of touch as to what happens really in our communities. And lastly, the one that just always confuses me is the Railroad Commission. They regulate our energy, but one, I think they are going to finally get the name updated so it actually relates to what they do. But again, here's an area where we need to make sure that the state agencies and commissions are actually addressing the issues that impact the citizens and the businesses.